25 years of experience has told me what works. US4 made me question that. I've tested their blades for 30 days on real builds, and here's why they've earned a spot on my saws. Just so you know, this video is sponsored by US4, but here's the thing. Before they ever sponsored us, I'd been using one of their blades for over 6 months. All right, so here's one of my most favorite compact chop saws. This is a Metabo HPT 7¼ inch compound slide miter saw, and it also has a US4 blade. Now this is only a 24 tooth blade. I don't have a higher tooth blade. They do make them, and I'm gonna request some as well, but this one's actually doing quite the job cutting different types of PVC and decking materials, and it's worked really well. You just gotta go a little bit slower to make sure you're not chipping it. Let that blade wind up all the way. Slow cut, cuts like butter. We're gonna cut a piece of thin material. Usually this can chip and chatter on a lower tooth blade, but let's see how this cuts with a 24 tooth 7¼ I'm gonna let it wind up real good and go slow. Here we go. You can hear it chatter just a little tiny bit towards the end of the cut, but you can see that's a really nice cut. In my opinion, that'll work just fine. These are harder materials to cut. Sometimes we have to put something in here to kind of keep the walls from chattering when you're cutting on a bigger chop saw. If you compare like a 12-inch blade, like a 40-tooth 12-inch blade to a 7¼ inch 24-tooth blade, they're gonna be similar. 6'7". I'm just kidding. I know you're gonna cut that out. They're gonna be similar in the type of cut they make. That's why I was comparing this 24 tooth 7¼ inch saw to a 12 inch with 40 teeth. It's gonna have a similar cut. The cool part is the carbide's sharp. It cuts really well, and it's gonna last a longer time because of that quality of the product that they're making. All right, so they have the 7¼ inch that works on your rear handle saws and your chop saws. They also make a 10 inch and a 40 tooth configuration. I know they make a 12 inch and a 60 tooth and an 80 tooth configuration. And they also make an 8¼ inch for, like, we have an 8¼ inch Makita, but we don't have any of those yet. So they make a good variation of circular blades for different circ saws that you have. All right, so this is our workhorse. Now this is the saw that I've had the most experience with US4 blades on. The first blade we got was their demo blade. They're like, doctor, try this out. We want you to give us your input on it. It was an 80 tooth US4 blade. That was over 6 months ago, so that blade was well used. It was used on treated PVC, aluminum framing, which is thicker, and then aluminum railing, which is a little bit thinner. Now we have a 60 tooth blade on it, this is the blade I prefer on a compound slide miter saw. This blade hasn't been on as long, but you can see some of the paint's already worn off. We use this in PVC, aluminum framing, aluminum railing, and it's still sharp and it's still cutting, and it leaves a really fine cut in PVC. So these blades for a 12-inch saw, high quality. All right, so on this saw, 10-inch blade, 40 teeth, cuts really well. It's excellent for this type of saw. This is for bigger beam cuts and that kind of thing. We've been really happy with this, haven't changed it. We stuck one on here and we've been rocking it ever since. Really good for 3.5 inch beam cuts and things like that. And on the lower scale, we have the 7¼ Everybody has these. This is like a 24 tooth, rip and cut, just quick framing type blade, but it works good for us for framing. So that's obviously what we're doing mostly. We're not doing finished cuts with this type of blade or saw. We would use a higher tooth blade for that, but as far as a 7¼ inch, again, working really well. You can see there's a lot of white PVC stuck to it. So we've been cutting different materials with it, wood, PVC, metal, whatever we need to do with it. Not steel though. These will not cut steel, okay? So I've been using saw blades for a long time, over 30 years in the industry. I am a Freud/Diablo diehard. I wouldn't even consider these blades until I got some in my hands, and the company sent them to me and said, hey doctor, test these, abuse them, do whatever you want with them. And I wouldn't be shooting this video unless I really believed in the blade. I like these US4 blades because they have a high quality carbide. They fit the tools that I need them to fit. They are a few dollars less than I've noticed from the home centers. I'm buying these online on Amazon. They last just as long as the Diablo blades we've been using, or even longer, depending on what products we're using with it. They don't have quite the lineup that Diablo does, but they have the core. the core tools that we need, and they stay sharp for a really long time, guys. So far, everything that we've thrown at these blades has been cut with precision and accuracy and clean cuts. So I have no reason why not to recommend these blades. So thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. Check out our podcast, links in the description below. And hey man, if you want a t-shirt, a Dr. Decks t-shirt, there's a link to the merch store right below. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Have a great day.